Helicopter, helicopter.
The Mysteries of Providence, Episode 1, The Lake Monster. The opening shot introduces us to the Lake of Providence and a house on its shore, enshrouded in a mysterious atmosphere. The dominant color is purple, and we can hear a foghorn that guides the ships through the evening mist. The three protagonists are inside, talking about the legend of King Arthur. Oscar shows a lot of enthusiasm and openness to the possibility of myths being at least partly real. Kathia expresses her reticence and realism, and Martin his interest in the charming side of the past centuries. He would prefer to avoid mythical monsters though, and Oscar calls him out for being scaredy. Now that I think of it, this opening scene is a great introduction to their personalities and interpersonal dynamics. The creep always spying on them, the mysterious and powerful figure that dwells in the shadows, sees everything and decides to cause some trouble. My man has legit more power than a North Korean president, as he releases a real monster with the same ease he makes a dragon-shaped shadow. His crow doing his bidding, sparkling some magic, and just stalking citizens, is going to be a recurring theme until the end. The bird's name is Gideon, but with a French accent, just trust me about this. No, it's not Itachi. We see citizens with whom we're going to get familiar, interacting in funny ways, while a monster that looks like a buff dragon Murloc is prowling through the town, his ground-shaking steps covered by the mist. This fool is Rudolph, the mayor, and, as if it weren't enough how much of a disgrace he is himself, his wife Adrenaline embarrasses him even further. This double combo wombo of burp plus fart is the very first thing I've shown in my introduction to this cartoon. As the mayor leaves, the monster comes after Adrenaline, and all lights in town get turned on because of how loud she screams. The following day at the tavern, Adrenaline tells everyone what she saw, and an old fisherman supports her claims with a legend. That guy is meant to seem a bit drunk and crazy, but having watched all the episodes, I can vouch for him knowing his stuff. Without going into assumptions about the names in the original French versions that I don't have access to, we're just going to call the monster Murloc. After Oscar takes a sample of seaweed left by Murloc, our friends meet at Stan Lee, the old librarian who always helps them research. The legend says that Murloc used to be a jealous knight, but a wizard had turned him into a half-human, half-fish monster. He emerges from the lake as often as I go outside, which would be once every few centuries, and his apparition foretells a catastrophe. In the meantime, a bunch of lowlifes plan on catching the monster to make money from tourists. They are called the Cerberus brothers, and I've just realized their name can mean that three-headed dog in French. Considering what kind of things they do throughout the episodes, and seeing how different from one another these supposed brothers look, I think the number of parents they had is bigger than the number of years they spent in school. We are shown a scene in which someone dresses up as Murloc, then Oscar and Kathia on the lake, waiting for the monster. The Cerberus brothers attack them, but Murloc takes their boat and throws it like a paper plane. The scum of society get a taste of the lake scum, the dirty foam. Martin sees the imposter taking photos of his disguise, and runs as fast as his legs can take him. The next day, he and his friends go to Dr. Frank, who tells them that scales such as were found in what was left of the Cerberus brothers' boat, she had only seen in books about prehistoric creatures. Timothy, the journalist posing as Murloc, had spread the news, and Rudolph sees it as an opportunity to get tourists. And if the monster doesn't exist, they could just make him up. I wonder why the mayor and the town thieves have such similar ideas. Rudolph summons Balthazar, the police officer, who happens to be a dog. Many real-life dogs are known for being submissive because they're nice and don't have a choice anyway, and so is this incompetent enforcer of law. Martin the inventor creates a submarine faster than I could assemble a Lego set, and him and Oscar go deeper into the mystery and explore the lake. Murloc plays with them, gives us a precious helicopter moment, and our friends are forced to retreat. Tourists overtake the town, the Cerberus brothers sell t-shirts, and Timothy makes up fake stories about his courage in photographing the monster. If tricking people into believing that you're a brave hero is what journalists do, then a lot of real-life people I've met have chosen the wrong job. Oscar and Martin wait by the lake, while Kathia guards Adrenaline's house. Her dance moves are so fire that even the godly dude who caused the whole situation has to join in. Timothy, disguised as Murloc, is attracted by the party, but Kathia chases him until they meet the real monster. The two look at one another like the Spider-Man meme, then run in opposite directions, and Kathia chooses to follow the smaller version, who leaves behind a glove. Oscar shows off his cowboy skills, he has more skills than you can count, and catches the imposter. While Timothy is unmasked like a Scooby-Doo villain, the mayor is visited by the real deal and escapes through an emergency trapdoor. Seeing how his armchair flies after him, you'd think he's a guilty husband going through a divorce. Tourists run away, and a mob decides to go on a monster hunt, led by Carlo and his explosives, but Oscar wants to be reasonable and negotiate with the monster. As he and Kathia go underwater, Murloc leads them to a sewage pipe in front of its hideout. Upon returning to the city, they encounter a mob carrying torches, while the Cerbera brothers go after the monster. Murloc catches a dynamite stick and, blowing up yet another boat, shows the little troublemakers that they haven't been chosen by the thug life, at least not outside their dreams. Oscar lets everyone know what the real problem is, and how Rudolph is the one responsible for the pollution. He negotiates for Carlo's life, even though the town could have done without him, and Murloc puts him down gently, proving that he's not only strong, but also reasonable. Our friends think about the possibility that someone had told Murloc whom to look for, and wonder who could that be. All is well when it ends well, and the episode closes with us feeling special for already knowing about the omnipotent guy. Subscribe to me to help solve the problem of the lake pollution.